Our next author wrote The Guide for Moms of Out of Control Teens. Lisa Gay Nichols is the author of Surviving the High School Years with Your Sanity Intact. Welcome.
Thank you, Amari. Thank you.
So, Lisa, surviving the high school years. I know we all were teenagers once. Those can be a doozy, right? What would you say is the biggest thing that people need to know about raising out of control teens?
I think that we treat our children in ways that we don't treat anybody else. When they are having behavior problems, we think it's because they don't know how to behave and we have to be on top of them, or maybe they're a bad kid or something, when really their behavior is driven by the same things that drive our behavior. Their beliefs that don't serve them. They have emotional triggers based on past events. Maybe they're going through something right now, like being bullied, or being a social outcast, or even being molested by the child down the street that you don't know about. And so we need to give our teens credit, or to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're not just bad kids, they're not just misbehaving because they don't know how to behave.
We don't treat our teenagers the way we treat everybody else. So how did you actually come to that realization and decide to write the book?
Well, of course, I had the experience of an out-of-control teen, and at one point, I realized that I was parenting him through guilt, and it is not a good parenting strategy. And when I realized this, I realized to repair a relationship and to create the opportunity for me to really help him, I needed to change how I would parent him. So when something that I would normally say would start to come out of my mouth, I would literally just stop myself from saying it. And I would say something instead that I would say to my good friend or my good friend's child, and give him more credit than I had given him before. And so when I realized this and it started changing our relationship, I wanted to help other parents, other moms, with looking at what are the beliefs that they have that aren't supporting them in parenting this out-of-control teen. What triggers do they have that kind of exasperate the drama that's going on? How can they themselves look at inside and find a way to be calm and have some peace within this chaos of having an out-of-control teen? That's why I wrote the book.
That's why you wrote it. So Ingrid from Holyoke, Massachusetts wants to know whether you've had this experience. So she said she's been told dozens of times throughout her adult life that she needs to write down her story and publish it, but she doesn't even know where to begin. Did you have that experience? And what was the first step you took?
The first step was to acknowledge that I needed a coach. I would normally not have done this, but when it finally came to the point where I really wanted to do this, I literally said to myself, I need a coach. And immediately, the author incubator came up on my Facebook feed. The next day, I was up at 4:30 a.m. to watch the webinar, and it was just so compelling that I signed up right away. I applied right away. And when I was going through the process of identifying what the specific book I would write, I had the resistance of, trying to figure it out, and it just came down to what I know best, and is how to get through this experience of having an out-of-control teen. I didn't have the support when I was going through that, and I would not recommend it. I'm a cautionary tale. And so I just wanted to be able to be there for the moms as they're going through that experience.
Okay. We have another question for you from Linda in Sandy Hook, Connecticut. How did you have the courage to believe that your message was worth writing about?
The author incubator helped with that a lot because I trust them and I trust their process. And I signed up to have a coach specifically to get out of my own way and to push through the barriers and the thought patterns that I had that would have prevented me from writing a book. And so by following the guidance that I was given, I had complete confidence once it was time to write the book that it would be a helpful, useful book.
What was the most interesting thing you learned about writing a book that you didn't know before?
That you can write a book in 10 days and that it's really it's about the pre-work. It's about getting yourself to the place where you know exactly what you're going to write about. You know exactly who you're writing it to, as some of the other authors have said. And once you know all of that, the book just flows.
The book just flows. Again, that book is Surviving the High School Years with Your Sanity Intact by Lisa Gay Nichols. Congratulations, Lisa. Thank you.